31 May 2021, and today is a day that is different from any other day that we've ever had on Gambakwe Media. Mr. Jonas, how are you?
Oh, fine, and you, Mr. Gambakwe. I get excited to get an invitation.
Okay, fantastic. Let's go straight into the topic, the special announcement that you've got for us today. What is the announcement?
Maybe I will start with the factors leading to the announcement, so that the announcement is a grand finale.
Okay.
Yeah. The first factor is that I realized the difference between a fire and smoke. I realized the difference between fiction, dreams, promises, and reality. And I realized the seriousness in terms of building a nation, building a country. And I realized the seriousness in terms of what we call patriotism, what we call national interest, and the difference between student politics and mainstream politics, the difference between waking up wanting to be a president and being rewarded or recognized by your country because of your work that you do to your country. But kana ukaita, if you have got a friend or a girlfriend who tells you that wakapenga, and then you act on it, those are dreams, and at some point you should wake up.
Okay, so let's go straight to the announcement. What is the announcement?
No, the announcement is I'm 100% behind the number one, the 2023 presidential candidature of President His Excellency President E.D. Mnangagwa. And secondly, because I want him to win as a president of Zimbabwe, obviously he is not swimming alone. The swimming pool that is providing him with water to be is a crocodile. So a crocodile obviously needs some water, and the swimming pool is called ZANU-PF. So there's no way I can want him to win 2023 and not support the river that is operating in, and the river is called ZANU-PF. So unfortunately I can't separate him from ZANU-PF. So I should support him and support ZANU-PF. And because of that, I'm proud to announce that I'm now a proud member of ZANU-PF.
Okay, that's interesting. And at this very point, let me ask ZANU-PF spokesperson or spokesman for South Africa, Mr. Kennedy Mandaza, to join us, and let us see what he's going to say about what you've just said. Mr. Mandaza, how are you?
I'm good, and you? Thank you for inviting me.
Mr. Mandaza, I've just heard a stunning announcement from Mr. Tinashe Jonas. What is your comment on this development?
Thank you so much to you, Mr. Gambakwe, and good evening to Comrade Tinashe Jonas. And I say so with an enlightened heart, and I say so with excitement. I say so with great gratitude to hear the good news that Mr. Jonasi yesterday, Comrade Jonasi from now, has just said. As a member of ZANU-PF, we welcome Comrade Tinashe Jonas to ZANU-PF, and his pronouncement in support of the candidature of President Mnangagwa and his presidency and the first secretary of ZANU-PF and his support thereof of the organization is something that excites everyone, particularly given the background that he gave, that he is saying so after realizing that there is so much great work that all of us as a collective can do if we realize what it means to be patriotic, what it means to work for the development of a country. And here we are today, and on behalf of ZANU-PF family and the leadership collective, we welcome Comrade Tinashe Jonas, and our president has always said, ZANU-PF ihomwe, aipe, aiguti, aizari, and Jonas has just added to this homwe, and we welcome him, and we thank him so much for this bold step that he has taken. For ZANU-PF is the only best and sure foot forward to the realization of the aspirations, the ideals, and the vision of the people of Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mandaza. And I think this is an ideal moment for me to put in this clip. Right. At this very particular moment, I would like us to ask Mr. Mandaza to teach us the ZANU-PF slogan. How does Mr. Jonasi do the ZANU-PF slogan?
Before I give him the ZANU-PF slogan, I want to say that one of the things that we are going to do to all those that are joining ZANU-PF, ZANU-PF, like we always say, is the only party that has an ideology that is grounded in a proven ideology. And our ideology is so distinct, and it guides us even on what we are supposed to do in as far as the slogan is concerned. And I must say from the onset that in ZANU-PF, we only venerate the president, the first secretary of the party. That is the only person whose name we mention when we make a slogan. But we only mention his name after we have mentioned the name of the party from which, the name of the party that he leads. And all other things will follow suit. And our party document, it says we should not be so much excited with making this slogan, because you might end up also making mistakes. So you go 3 up and probably 1 down. And here is how we do it. Pambere ZANU-PF, Pambere Mnangagwa,
Pambere,
Pambere nekubatana,
Pambere,
Pambere nekusumudzira nyika yeZimbabwe,
Pambere,
pasi nemhandu,
pasi
na Chamisa.
do you say Pastor Chamisa or do you say Pasne Mandu? Which is which?
Pasne Mandu is a collective of all those who are working against the progress of Zimbabwe. And Chamisa is one of them who is working against the progress of the people of Zimbabwe. Especially when we look at the Sunga 1, Sunga Dozen, the Kudira Jecha concept, and many other ills and shenanigans that they do in order to pull down the progress that those that are building Zimbabwe are doing currently and also in the past.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mandaza. I don't want to keep you for any longer, and I really appreciate the fact that you came here to welcome Mr. Jonasi. I'm just going to continue with Mr. Jonasi Is there anything you want to say to him before I close? Before
Yes,
I let you on?
say, me and Comrade Jonas, we have a history, and it is a public knowledge to many people. But we take it as ZANU-PF that let bygones be bygones. These were the key words that the president said when he was inaugurated in 2017. He said, let bygones and be bygones. And our president ever since has been speaking peace, unity, and love. And in addition to that, he's also always preaching about honest hard work. But we do not do this without emphasizing production. And we welcome Comrade Tinashe, and we hope we will work together to make sure that our party grows from where it is now, because our target is 5 million for 2023. And we are proud that you have added to what we want to achieve at the end of by 2023. We welcome you, and we are waiting for the reloading of others as we do this, and we can see that the reloading is coming on board.
Yes, Mr. Mandaza, it's really it's an eventful week. I attended the district meeting of ZANU-PF, and I saw a lot of other young people, and ZANU-PF is attracting a lot of young people. And I must say, you have played a very big part in these young people coming, especially the South African young people, the ones who are based here, to come into ZANU-PF. And I hope that we'll be having another opportunity to talk about what you've done, your strategy over the past 2 years, when you came here and you started to speak publicly and proudly about ZANU-PF, which was very quiet here in South Africa before you came.
We will definitely do that, and I can assure you that like what Comrade Ramaphosa said the other time, he said, watch this space. In Pretoria, we are going to be having a big meeting with people that are also coming from one opposition grouping, who were here in South Africa for a long time. When it is time, you will definitely be called, and you will be the first also to hear about the great news, the great strides that we are doing. And we, like I said, we welcome Comrade Tinashe, and we want to make sure that we continue to work together for the growth of our party, and more importantly, the growth and prosperity of Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mandaza. I'll talk to you again very, very soon, and you may say goodbye to Mr. Jonas.
Goodbye, Comrade Musare Zvakanaka basa ngarirowe.
Ndatenda comrade, and I promise that I will do everything to make sure Chamisa doesn't become a president through any system, through anything. Chamisa must just go to Gutu and farm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, Mr. Jonas, are you going to manage the slogan?
Yeah, for now I need to, I'm like grade 1. I need to learn one thing at a time.
Okay. Many people will be surprised. You have gone through various stages. The first time I met you, you were very afraid. You remember you came into my car, and no one knows this. You did not trust anybody. You were running at everywhere you were. And I've seen you develop into what you are today.
Yeah.
A very confident young man, and eventually you are in ZANU-PF. Tell me what has happened.
All right. You know what? Let me say this. I've realized that as young people, we are very politically illiterate. When you achieve a diploma, a tertiary education, or a degree, you assume that you know politics. But the political industry, it's a different animal from academia. Hence, I can give examples of people who are educated, like your professor Jonathan Moyo, who when they were given Chunu, Navamugabe, and your Patrick Joaos, your Kasukuere, vakatorerwa Chunu nangwena, vakatarisa. Now, so when I saw my uncle playing politics, when I was doing political management in MDC Tsangirai, I assumed that I know politics, and everything I was doing, to me, it was more like I'm a political expert, I'm a consultant. But one good thing about being alive is that you must always take life as a lesson. The world is a big classroom. When I talk to people, when I read, I absorb the content and try to learn every day. Then I realized that I was actually doing politics which was anti-Zimbabwe. My politics was because you don't form a party to become a president. You form a party to hold hands with the ruling party, with other citizens, civic society, business, to engage one another and improve the economy, improve everything. But in our country, us as opposition, we punish the president because he won. He is a president. We are not presidents, so we try to block his ways so that he is pronounced a failure. Yet a failing ED is a failing Zimbabwe, because ED is the face of Zimbabwe. ED is just an ordinary Zimbabwean, but the office is running is very important. So I realized that you can't be a leader. One day I can't be a leader in Zimbabwe if I can't submit myself to other leaders. If I judge ED is going to judge me, and then no one is going to be near anyone. Yet our country, so I now learn to submit. I'm very, very stubborn, and I'm very, very arrogant. I'm a delinquent. I'm a delinquent. I can be out of order. So now I need to submit to an organization. I need to submit to leadership. That's how I would grow one day. So I think out of humility comes wisdom, and out of pride comes distraction.
Right, Mr. Jonas, I want us to keep this very, very short, because what you have just announced, it needs us to digest. So I want to ask you a few quick questions. I also need some very quick answers.
Okay.
What happens to Ideal Zimbabwe from today?
Ideal Zimbabwe is still on, but the way I see it, the Ideal Zimbabwe is already being realized through the work of ED and ZANU-PF.
Okay, so Ideal Zimbabwe is no longer a political party. You are not in Ideal Zimbabwe anymore.
No, we formed an Ideal Zimbabwe. We wanted to work on our own within our organization to bring forward an ideal country, an ideal Zimbabwe, a great Zimbabwe. But with the work that ED is doing and ZANU-PF in support of him, we are realizing that the ideal Zimbabwe is already on the ground, being ushered by President Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. So an ideal Zimbabwe was not a political party per se. It was a concept and a dream to bring the country we think a better country. But ED is building roads. ED is building energy. ED is improving. Right now, we have been suffering of passports as people in diaspora. Right now, ED has brought in e-passport. So it's not like and I do Zimbabwe. If ZANU-PF is improving Zimbabwe, we can't say that's not an I do Zimbabwe. When ED is removed and ZANU-PF, then we are going. Let me say, I was going to be a president of Zimbabwe maybe after 20 years. We were not going to, in an I do Zimbabwe, we were not going to remove the infrastructure that is put in place by ZANU-PF and President Mnangagwa. We're still going to improve on it. So now we can't have two separate I do Zimbabwe's. So I do Zimbabwe is alive, but is being constructed by ZANU-PF and President E.D. Mnangagwa.
Okay. Then the most important question that I want to ask for tonight is, are you able to submit yourself to the organization and work within the structures?
All right. Yeah. By joining ZANU-PF, I'm sure they know what type of an animal I am, and I'm sure they've got remedies because ZANU-PF also needs radical young people. I mean, vibrance. If I can be properly mentored and managed within ZANU-PF, people like President E.D. Mnangagwa is a radical person. He went to war. There's no radicalism that is more than people who go to war. A soldier is the most decorated radical person. So ZANU-PF is a revolutionary party, Chimbwidos and Mujibas and war veterans. So I will be surprised in ZANU-PF if my radicalism will be taken as out of order. I think when I'm in ZANU-PF, I'm home, and they will know how to deal with me because they train the soldiers, they manage the soldiers, comrades. So I think ZANU-PF was born out of war, and because I know myself, I'm full of fire. Then they would manage me well. Otherwise, if I was going to join MDC alliance, I was going to beat up Chamisa. But in ZANU-PF, I will be dealing with the people who are tested and tried and tested. So they will manage me. And I will ask them not to fire me. If I'm a problem, they've got structures to take me or soldiers or whatever for a day or a weekend and discipline me and bring me back.
Okay, but obviously you won't be able to speak on behalf of ZANU-PF. So, like when you come here, how would that work? How are you going to be able to speak for yourself when you are in such a structured organization like ZANU-PF? They've got a spokesperson here in South Africa. They've got a spokesperson everywhere.
Okay.
So how are you going to maneuver being in ZANU-PF?
Okay. I don't know how they do it in ZANU-PF because I'm very, very new. But I don't think they would stop me from speaking because when I'm speaking, I won't be speaking on behalf of the party. But there must be obviously because I don't have a position in ZANU-PF. I was told by my immediate boss, Mr. Mandaza, that if you don't have a position, you are not much restricted because you are an ordinary member. But if it comes a time that I might be promoted for whatever reasons, if possible, then I will be. Mr. Mandaza told me that then I will be expected to behave in a certain way. But now I'm an ordinary member of the party.
Okay, there are many young people that are going into ZANU-PF. I have seen this with my own eyes. Many leaders of other political parties. We saw a few weeks ago Lillian Timvias, and I think it was Blessing Chebundo, very prominent FDC members. This past weekend, or in fact the last one, we saw Barbara Nyagomo, and then this week you are joining yourself, ZANU-PF, And this is straight joining without demands. What do you think is attracting these young leaders into ZANU-PF?
All right, I will start with myself. ZANU-PF is building Zimbabwe. They are constructing a road. They are building a clinic. I mean, they are building the country. In opposition, we are commenting, we are insulting, we are denigrating them. So in Zimbabwe, patriotism is found in ZANU-PF. Sovereignty is found in ZANU-PF. Nation building is found in ZANU-PF. Love is found in ZANU-PF. You know what my behavior and what I did to Mr. Mandaza, you know. But look, Mr. Mandaza is here, welcoming me, giving me love, prepared to mentor me as a young leader. I mean, ZANU-PF is accepting you without conditions. And obviously, Mr. Gambakwe, if ZANU-PF was a difficult party, I think I was going to apply maybe 200 letters for me to join ZANU-PF because of my past history, you know. But when I even apologized to His Excellency, I was forgiven. When I made when I apologized to Mr. Mandaza, he forgave me, and you saw the video. You even posted it. I mean, so this is the nature in ZANU-PF. Although in opposition, we always say ZANU-PF, they murder people, they do this, but ZANU-PF is actually more loving and more welcoming than opposition. There is no political party in Zimbabwe that is insulting and full of hate more than the Chamisa Chete Chete political party. Even as we are doing this discussion, Mr. Gambakwe, if anyone can go to the comment section, they pay people to insult us. So ZANU-PF now is the old ZANU-PF, the First Republic, is now called Chamisa Chete Chete Party. Although Chamisa is lying to people that is a pastor, but his ways is anti-Zimbabwe, is evil. And to me, he's a witchcraft because he's a witch because he took over power from a coffin of Morgan Tsvangirai. Instead of board viewing, he took power. So Chamisa Chete Chete Party is now the old ZANU-PF, is the party of witches.
Okay, I think at that point we must bring this to an end because I'm finding it difficult to digest this information. I told Barbara Nyagomo last week when I talked to her that I cannot visualize in ZANU-PF. It will take me time to visualize you young guys. Tim Vias, when she came here, I went to, I think it was the one of the provinces here in South Africa, where she was addressing. And barely 6 months later, she was in ZANU-PF. How many other people are waiting to go into ZANU-PF? I don't even know. And
I can tell you there's a lot of shocking new members coming. I'm talking to other people. There are so many people who are calling me in opposition, who are even saying, hey, man, as we are told, we are in a struggle, and we are told that if you join ZANU-PF, you have sold out. Unengo watengesa. Hey, man, where did you get the bravery to do the right thing? I won't mention the names right now. There are so many prominent people that I'm also teaching how to be brave and live that useless struggle.
Okay. And do you expect any sort of financial benefit from being in ZANU-PF? Many people here are saying you're already in ZANU-PF, and they're even saying Gambakwe because you talked to Jonas, you were in ZANU-PF.
Okay, look, ZANU-PF, judging from the previous election, which is 2018, President Emmerson Mnangagwa posted over 2 million votes. Now, let's assume that everyone who joins ZANU-PF is paid money. then ZANU-PF must be the richest political party in the world. And ZANU-PF must spend more than 100 billion US dollar paying members. If you pay everyone to join your party, then ZANU-PF is going to pay everyone to join their party. You don't join a party because you are paid. What if the money that you are paid runs out? So you are going to demand another money. Then if they don't pay you, you are going to leave the party. You don't pay a party because me being a member of ZANU-PF, it would demand a lot. It would demand attending meetings, given assignments. So how much because I can be a member of ZANU-PF maybe until I die. So how much can they pay me now that can make me be part of them the rest of my life?
Okay, Mr. Tinashe Jonas, I've really enjoyed talking to you today, and I thank you very much for choosing this platform to be the first place where you announced that you're joining ZANU-PF. I must say, this weekend I was very impressed by Mabuto Moyo. He came here. He's one of the national leaders of ZANU-PF, and I was also very impressed with the organization that is happening, the way they're organizing themselves in ZANU-PF, their posters, their T-shirts. I see you're not wearing your T-shirt. You were looking very nice in your T-shirt here. And basically, the machine of ZANU-PF, I think they're doing a good job in marketing, in presenting themselves, in selling themselves to young people. And I hope that we'll have more conversations about how young people are responding, because young people have always been with Chamisa and with the MDC Alliance. But I think with what is happening now, it's attracting young people, obviously, because you're not an easy person to move from the opposition to ZANU-PF. They must be doing something right. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Before we close, I want to ask Mr. Gambakwe, when am I going to host you here joining ZANU-PF?
You know what? My job does not allow me to become a member of a political party. Otherwise, I will have to close. And I employ a lot of people. So if I choose a political party, a lot of people are going to go hungry. Because now I will have to stop. I can't be a media person in the member of a party. So you even saw in December, we announced that we were very close to Chamisa and the MDC Alliance, and we're going to distance ourselves. I was also doing marketing work. I did marketing work for Maim Juru's party, Zimfest, Zimbabwe People First, and we stopped all that to focus on media. So I am going to be supporting all the people that want to have a platform. I think that's an amazing job that we can do without becoming a member of a party. But let's go to the last thing that you wanted to say before we close. Yes.
Yeah, no. I'm also going to bring comrades that will be brave. I'm going to talk to a lot of comrades to bring them on the platform. I think I'm going to bring a lot of prominent people because in opposition there is a fantasy struggle. I mean, this is time to build Zimbabwe. Building a nation is a serious business. So I'm going to talk to a lot of comrades, those who are sitting on the fence. They are just afraid to be insulted. But I'm telling you, Mr. Gambakwe, in people who support Chamisa, they know that Chamisa is not going to be a president of Zimbabwe. They know that Chamisa, there's no struggle because Chamisa can't even kill a fly. So I want to rescue Zimbabweans who are under Chamisa witchcraft.
Okay. It has been a very interesting discussion, Mr. Tinashe Jonas, and I really appreciate talking to you. Are we going to be seeing you every Monday, or do you have to get clearance?
No, there's no clearance. There's no clearance. As I'm saying, Mr. Gambakwe, ZANU-PF is now more. Actually, ZANU-PF is now more modern. You know, it's a modern party. And Mr. Gambagwe, me and you and every Zimbabwean, we must, it's our duty. A transformed ZANU-PF is a better Zimbabwe. I'm saying to you this, discussions must be always everywhere, you know. I mean, we need to talk as Zimbabweans. We need, what is bad is to insult our leadership. No one must insult the president of Zimbabwe, whether you are ZANU-PF or you are not. No one must insult our ministers, because they are put in place by us, by God, to represent us. So I think people are discussing politics in a tavern, in a bus, everywhere. You know, what is not correct is for me to be here as a representing ZANU-PF, speaking as on behalf of the ZANU-PF party. That won't be correct. But our usual discussions are helping a lot of Zimbabweans, Mr. Gambagwe, and we are going to still continue to talk without any clearance, because I'm not going to insult the president of Zimbabwe, the president of ZANU-PF, the leadership. I'm going to respect them, but they must also respect opinions across the country. You know, discussions must be done in any platform, the Gambagwe Media, any other platforms. Mr. Gambagwe, you can appreciate even ZTN as a government entity. They do debates where they even call people like Nyembe Smaere, comrade professor, I'm forgetting this professor, robotic professor, Mutata Mtambara.
Yes.
Just a few days ago, he was on ZTN and expressing himself. So it's not only Gambagwe Media. State media is open to discussions, to people of various opinions. That's how the Second Republic is operating. It's not stifling anything. The patriotic bill is coming for people to not to denigrate their country outside. Within the patriotic bill, Zimbabweans are allowed to discuss, but you need to be involved in progressive discussions that build the nation. As we speak, there's no doubt that some government ministers are watching. There's no doubt that even the president of the country might be watching us, because besides being a president, he's a citizen of the country. He's a Zimbabwean. So discussions, they must benefit ZANU-PF members, non-ZANU-PF members, but we should do them within the confinement of building the nation.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonasi. And I'll see you next week. And if you are not yet in the School of Ideology, because I know they have to take you to understand the ideology. I know that's very important. I've seen Mr. Mandaza taking through the youths here in South Africa through the School of Ideology. And I wish they could publicize some of that content that they teach over there. And I hope that you also take us through, as you go through that School of Ideology, you take us through the ideology of ZANU-PF. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonasi, and I'll see you again next week.
Thank you so much.
Kuno, apo, pano, mamu ona kere.